anyone else get really wound up when they try and unlock their phone and it says face doesn't match? It's my face. It's the same face I had when I bought the phone. Faces do not suddenly change. Hello, Samsung. It's me. Welcome to this week's episode. Hello. I'm hoping that my volume's okay this week because for the last few weeks we've just been going, can't hear me, which is probably a blessing for most people. And my husband lovingly informs me that he just fast forwards through this bit because he doesn't want to listen to me harping on. So I'm sorry, I'm sick. Basically, there's a flu A, I believe, doing the rounds, and my new member of staff came down with it last week, and I think she gifted me with it as well. So, although I was only in bed for a day, I was in bed for Friday, and I got up again Saturday and Sunday. I'm still a bit sniffly and a bit sorry for myself. Even worn a mask today, which I thought was very responsible of me. Oh, that light's better if I pull back. Oh no, it's gone again. So, what have I done this week? So, we've been to Bulgaria, clearly. We went for the long weekend. It was Reunification Day in Romania, which apparently is something that celebrates Wallachia joining Romania about 200 years ago. So we had a long weekend. That made it a bit of a nightmare to escape the country because if there's one thing that Romanians absolutely love, it's going away for the weekend. So, we left my place of work at 4 o'clock and it took us 5.5 hours to get to Oresh. 3 hours of that was getting out of Bucharest. For reference, on the way back, it took us 2 hours, 40 minutes. So we pretty much doubled our time. And then I got sick on the Friday anyway. 1 minute I was fine, the next minute I was going, I don't feel right, and teeth chattering and all sorts. But we still had a busy weekend. We've come to a couple of realizations. One of them is that we're trying to do too much, and the other is that we just weren't ready for the winter at all. So I've watched a million YouTubers. I've been watching them for years, since before I bought my house, and all the time that I've had my house. And I've lost count of the amount of times I have sat and I have watched people with a wood pile, and I've gone, you fools, that's not enough wood for the winter, that won't last you. And I very smugly thought that we had plenty of wood. I realised some of it still needed chopping, but we had plenty. We didn't. We're nearly out. And we're just playing catch up all the time. Like Chris said to me this weekend, I don't want to spend my whole life chopping wood. And I was like, well, that's fine, darling. You can freeze because I'm paying a bill. I'm paying bills here. I'm paying bills in the UK. I'm paying bills in Bulgaria. I need to try and save some money somewhere along the way. I've got good money coming in, but it's also going out again very rapidly. So I can't afford to have the aircon on all day, every day to run the heating. And besides, we like the fire. So yeah, most of our weekend was yet again chopping sodding wood. And then I've looked in the barn of the wood that's for next winter and thought what I thought was going to be enough based on this year. We've only been back 3.5 weeks and we've already gone through nearly everything we had in the woodshed. Yeah, that's not going to be enough either. So I'm going to have to look at maybe buying a couple of cubes for next winter too, and then just make sure that we get enough down to do the winter after. At least we've got one winter where we can start to feel a bit confident. So yeah, that was our first issue, is we just weren't ready. The house is cold. It warms up once you've got a fire going, but it's really cold when you walk into it. There's a sodding leak in the bathroom coming from the shower, which means the bathroom is never dry. It's always damp in there. It's ruined the tiles directly underneath where, and they were expensive tiles by all accounts, and now they've got a permanent watermark on them. And you just never feel dry in there. I mean, I had a heater put in there last year because I've experienced Bulgarian winter in that bathroom, and it's not something I want to repeat. And that helps, but it's just wet in there all the time. We've got to get that fixed. And it's dirty. we've got 3 dogs. That's our choice. That's our life. But we are constantly walking muck in and out of the house. You just never stop sweeping and never stop mopping. So yeah, it's been a bit of an eye opener, the reality of it. Don't get me wrong, we still love it. We love it very, very much, but you've got to let off some steam, haven't you? If we walked around pretending everything was perfect, we wouldn't be being honest. Um, and the other thing is that, yeah, we've just been like over ambitious. Like, I look at what we did last year and I'm like, we didn't do anything. We didn't achieve anything. It was our first full opportunity to be there and we didn't do anything. Well, yeah, I mean, we arrived, it was 40 odd degrees of heat and the village was on fire within a week of our arrival. So I think that's fair. But we put the double glazing, we got the double glazing put in, we painted the whole house. We did something else, we put some light fittings up. Um, there's something else, and I can't remember what it is for the life of me. We killed a swimming pool. Um, and so this year, I've kind of said, yes, we have got big projects, but I want to cut them back a bit. So we definitely want the porch doing. We've got the money put aside for that, and that won't be us doing that anyway, unless Chris is labouring on it. I had a grand plan for the uh, concrete slab to be paved, and then for us to build an outdoor kitchen on it. I think if we pave it, that's enough. And it does need tiling because it's starting to lose its coherence now after 2 full years of just being exposed concrete. So that needs doing. And the other thing is, I want to start my garden, and that is something I'm really passionate about. So I definitely want to prioritise that. But all these things cost money. And like I say, although I have got good money coming in and I'm not complaining, because I have got 3 jobs, um, like Chris said, you're getting sick because you're doing too much. But I don't mind doing that when I'm on my own here. I've got nothing to do anyway except watch Outlander, which is crap. And so I might as well be on my laptop working when I'm not dying of a head cold like I am now. Um, but we bought this house in the UK, and yes, it's mortgage free, and it was really cheap. But you can imagine what that comes with. It needs damp proofing, it needs the electrics updating, it needs new carpets, it needs some new double glazing. That's going to have to be paid for because that's my gift to my children for abandoning them. I'm giving them a house that they can live in, so they'll never have to worry about having to pay out rent and save up um, for their own house. They've got that to live in rent free. I would quite like it if they take the bills on when they live there. So I'm paying the bills there, saving up there for the work that needs doing, so it's habitable for them. And then of course we've got bills in Bulgaria, not too many, but they still exist. We both have to eat. And we've got bills here, my apartment bills, and they're not bad. They're about £100 a month. That's for electric, water, and all the building maintenance and our parking spot as well. But it does mean that our money's being parcelled out and portioned out here, there, and everywhere all the time. Um, so it's not like we're rolling in it just because we've got it coming in. So we have to be realistic and say we can't do everything in one go. Anyway, I am disappointed to tell you that yet again there is a large segment of this that's about wood. Um, and apart from that, it's just me pottering around, sniffing and going, oh, I don't feel very well. And the dogs causing carnage. They've found every way out of the garden that they could possibly find, and they're terrorising my poor neighbour Magda. No, not because they don't like her, they love her. They want to go and stand in her garden and jump at her and love her. And she really doesn't want them to do that. So I'll be back there again this weekend, see what else we can do. We're going to go to Pavlikini. Apparently there is a really good garden centre in Pavlikini, and that's my idea of a great day out, so I'm excited about that. Um, and I think that's about it for now. Mole rats, tree pruning, grapevines, I think I'll deal with those next week. So enjoy the wood, enjoy the moaning, and yeah, we still love it. We still want to do it. It's our dream. It's just this time of year sucks. It's cold and it's damp and it's dirty. Such is life. Anyway, things are good. Much love. Take care. Peace out. Good morning, good morning. It is Friday, the 24th of November. It is Romanian Unification Day, so I get an extra day off. We had a hideous journey getting here last night. It took us 5.5 hours. 3 of those were just getting out of Bucharest, but we made it. And today, although the house is much cleaner than it usually is, go Chris, make a house a home. I am doing a big clean. It's forecast rain. We're making a house a home still, so Chris has got these cushions. We went to IKEA last weekend. We've got no light fitting up here at the moment because we're about to fit one. Chris has built this rather fabulous kitchen cabinet, which is much better than the 1970s style TV unit I had in here. So I'm going to fill the cabinet, get rid of some crap in here. And outdoors, if it doesn't rain, Ellie is very, very disappointed that we're not awake enough to do a frisbee yet. What you say, my love? Apple to him. Apple no, not yet. And the pile of wood at the bottom of the garden hasn't mysteriously disappeared. So the fairies haven't taken it away. So I suppose that's on my list of things to do as well. And I think I'm coming down with a cold, and it better not be that horrible flu. So one thing I did last week was I bought rather too many seeds. I've got all sorts here. I'm so excited about planting it. Beetroot, peppers, I've got pumpkins, I've got beans, I don't know, they appear a bean, I've no idea. I've got parsnips, I've got red peppers, courgettes, sweet corn, aubergines, parsnips, orange pumpkins, carrots, loads of tomatoes, so many varieties of tomato. Peas, I love peas, 2 loads of those. Cauliflowers, really hard to grow. Big cucumbers, gherkin cucumbers, cherry tomatoes, never let you down. I don't know why I bought these, like I'm going to be able to grow a watermelon. Lettuce, radishes, easiest thing in the world to grow. More aubergines, more sweet corn, carrots, more carrots, chili peppers, more lettuce. What's that? Oh, more tomatoes. More tomatoes. So they actually found those in a box of stuff I've just unpacked from England, along with these mixed lettuce and more tomatoes. So yeah, that should keep me busy. I'm only used to starting planting in March, and that in a greenhouse. So I'm going to have to look up this different climate because I think it's going to be very cold for a while yet. And what I can actually start growing. I've got a basket full of garden stuff online. I can't check it out because I've got no money until somebody pays me, exam board, school, anyone, just somebody, please. January is the longest month in the year, and we're on day 347, it feels like. But yeah, that should keep me busy for a while. All right, it's Saturday now. I spent Friday in bed. So much for a long weekend. I think I've got some kind of flu thing. Chris is cleaning up, and I am going to, now I'm up on my feet, I'm going to fill the wood thing up and do a few bits and pieces. But I am not feeling right good at all. I think this weekend is going to be a big, fat, nothing burger. This bit of my garden, I would like to put my polytunnel on. So at some point I need to measure how wide. It's got to be at least 2 meters wide, surely. I think the ones I'm looking at are like 6 by 3 by 2. I assume that means 3 wide. It's got to be, no, maybe not actually. I don't know if that's going to be wide enough. We need to measure it. Because it could go here if need be. I think the potato grave was a failure last year, so that can come up. And I want to grow my veg here, around the corner at the front there, and maybe even up here if I ever get these piles of wood burnt, which is on my list. But it rained last night and it was very frosty this morning, so I don't think there's much chance of burning anything today. Also on my list is, I'm sure Davy, when he was working on Brian's house, had a man with a digger who might be able to get these buggers up by the roots. Because if they get them up by the roots, that's a lot of space there. I could be growing actual useful trees, or even like veg like courgettes and pumpkins that like a slope. And then Ellie, I don't know what it is that's so interesting that you keep eating here, but I don't believe it's good for you. And also, The mole rats are taking the piss now. If anyone knows, I don't know anything about this, but I took great satisfaction when we put the concrete slab down in thinking about them banging their heads. What does one do? Does putting bottles on a pole, does that help? What do we do to see the buggers off humanely? Because I don't want them eating all my potatoes. I think I've finally convinced Chris, after all this time of saying, I don't know why you want it, I don't know why you need that much wood. If you think about the wood pile we had 2 weeks ago, that is all that's left of it. Because it's bloody cold and you need your wood burner going all the time. So I think he finally realises that next winter we can't just like have a pile of wood and think, oh yeah, that's plenty, because it's not plenty. So I need to put some of the newer wood away. Still got this pile. I'm going to need some help with this. I'm not going to be able to do this by myself. This lot I can just put away. Chris did some burning yesterday, which is good. It's this lot we need to start moving with. This is old stuff mostly, and it's ready for burning. We just need to get to it. And there's some bigger ones down there. We just can't reach them. Bloody wood. Right, we are back to the grindstone. We're very unimpressed dogs. I'm trying to see if we can get some of this damp wood burnt. Wood is being flung out of here because we are getting it to the point where we can get to the big bits, because we've calculated we have roughly 1 week's worth of wood left. And you know what? Wood's wood, it'll burn. So this pile is for me, for my mini chainsaw. And this bigger pile is for Chris and his bigger chainsaw. And this wood does not look like it is going to burn. This is my latest cunning plan. There's been a leak coming off this shower for 2 years now. 2 years. We did try and fix it this summer. I say we, I mean Chris. He failed, so he just didn't try again. And so the bathroom is always wet. The floor is always filthy because we walk in here to go to the bathroom and walk in with muddy feet. So I've put a big enamel dish underneath the leak. And I'm hoping that will inconvenience us enough so that we fix the sodding leak. And in the meantime, I just need to buy a water butt and fill it up with all this drippy water, and then realise how much water we're wasting every single bloody day. Good morning, it's Sunday. I promise this is my final wood update for the weekend. So, I'll just show you the village first. It's a very, 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 very foggy day. Very crisp and cold. It was very, very frosty when we woke up. So, wood update so far. The fire did not want to do anything yesterday. This tree still needs chopping up. That's going to take ages, and that's going to end up being me trimming all that, and I ain't got time today. Plus, I kind of put my back out yesterday, so I'm going to have to be really careful today. This is stuff that I'm wanting to chop up with a smaller chainsaw still. This is bigger stuff that's got to go to Chris in the workshop, or the bigger chainsaw. I think the bigger chainsaw will be better than the circular saw. That seems to keep breaking when we do this with it. And the sum of my hours of back-breaking labour yesterday has resulted basically in this big pile of twigs here. So at least we've got something to burn, even if it'll burn through really fast. And this pile is slightly smaller than it was. And you can see we've still got some really big logs in there that we can pull out when we can get to them. The problem is I've got to get the little logs out first before we can get to the big ones. But yeah, that should be all right that should all be old enough for this year. My concern now is that I thought we had enough wood for next year, and now I'm pretty sure we haven't, with the speed that we've been getting through it. So this, just to remind you, this is next year's wood. If I can get in there, that is all for next year. And I don't think, I did think it was going to be enough to see us through winter, But I don't think it is now, given that we've been here less than a month. And Chris hasn't been here full time because he's been with me a few days here and there in Romania. And we've nearly gone through that pile that we thought we had. I don't think this is going to be anything like enough. So we might have to order a couple of cubes as well. But I think the important thing is that we're ready. Like all autumn, I kept saying, we've got to chop all this wood. You need to pull that out. We need to chop it. And he didn't believe me. And so now we're on the hoof and we're ending up chopping it as we need it. And, this has been outside all night, so now it's wet. So we need to get it cut and then get it somewhere to dry again. I just want to be winter ready next year because I knew what it was going to be like, but even I've underestimated it. And, he's very generous with his fire. He likes to throw many logs on rather than doing it slow. And so I just go back to the village while I am yabbering on here. And so we are going to need a lot. But I think we'll have enough for the year after. We've got this so far. That's just from a couple of bits of tree. Ellie's very excited about the fact that I've just opened that door. And I also started this one yesterday. I'm in this now. There we go. And then we've got that. We've got that tree at the end, obviously, that we need to keep butchering. And those two trees in the corner of the garden need to come down, and the dead one next to it. We need to get the rest of that tree down that he started in the wood. So, that's going to be a good amount. And to be honest, I think if for the next couple of months we can just keep going up into that wood and just get a tree down every now and again, make some space, make it a bit safer, I think that'll be a good start as well. Now, where are my dogs? Here. Where's Monica? She gone in the woodshed. She'll never be seen again. So the other thing I've learned is that I'm constantly beating myself up that I haven't done enough. But we did do a lot last year. The house is now white instead of grey. It's got double glazed windows. Things got done. But this year we've got three main projects. The first one is this slab. This slab is now coming into its second spring of existence. It cost a lot of money to get this put down. And the idea is that it's going to be an outdoor entertainment area. Now, on this half of it, I want my swimming pool. And we've just bought a second-hand inflatable hot tub as well. So we can have all year round water fun. And this side is going to be my outdoor kitchen. And I think, if I'm being honest, I think it is too ambitious financially and time-wise to get the outdoor kitchen up, as well as everything else that we want to do this year. So what I want is I want it tiling. And I think we can afford that. And I think Chris can do that, probably with some help from Tim. So that's project number one. My poor husband, who says, I don't want to be chopping bloody wood all day. But you know what? We weren't ready. And so we've got to chop wood all day, because otherwise we're going to either freeze or end up with a massive electric bill running the AC all day for the heat. So, myth, we've got to cut the wood. Sorry, honey. Now, project number two is one that's going to cost us money, but not a lot of time. And I apologise for my angle and the noise, but I can't work out where to get a better angle from. Monica is currently modelling our existing porch. The idea is that we'll come out to the end of the step and we'll build across there, and then we'll have an extended kitchen and a living area as well, like to eat or to sit and enjoy the sunshine and, I don't know, look at our grapevines. That's one that we are not capable of doing. We have got 10,000 lev put away to pay for that. So Stefan in the village now charges 120 lev a day for his skills, and he is good. I do get that. But we're just going to have to say 10,000's our lot. What can you do? And if it ends up being a bit smaller than we've dreamed of, so be it. But I think that will make a valuable difference to the house. So that's the next project. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about wood again, but clearly that was an absolute lie because I'm obsessed with wood. So I've just remembered that we've got this, which is like a, I don't know what it is, but we found it in a shed somewhere. And I've just discovered that me and my mini chopper here can chop so much faster if we're leaning on something. And I'm not doing my back in. So I'm making rapid progress here. I'm very pleased with myself. Look, so pleased. Well, you're not freeze, even if you have to burn twigs.
Let's see what I've got. What I've got in there. Or the wool I've got in there.
Yes, like I say, you'll not freeze. Where's Ellie?
Damn it, Joy. On patio.
All right. She's not. Oh, yeah, she is. Fog's dropped again. A very dramatic winter sky. Back to Romania we go.